Hey guys, M13 here. I don't often do this road, so in case you're like, oh, it's the same old road, it's not. It's a mountain road, but it's a different one than the one that I normally do. I just went and met with the QiGong master. I put up a video of his on my Facebook. He's like healing my son. And some people, let me address a few issues with that. Some people are like, well, why does your son, who's only 5 years old, already have neck problems? And it's simple, really. He just it's just like he overworked the muscle. It's like if you say you have a job where you're lifting heavy things, and then one day you lift too many heavy things and you kind of like pull a muscle, and then you obviously need to rest it for it to heal, right? But if you don't rest it, what happens if you go back to work the next day and the next day? It'll just stay sore, and you'll be constantly kind of have twinges in your arm and whatnot. Okay, yeah, pull out and then do 2 kilometers a fucking hour. So what I did was, yeah, so that's just the same thing. My son just overworked his neck because he's always doing, you know, he's at school, he's reading books, he's playing video games, he's looking at cell phones, he's watching TV. He just overworked his neck, and each day when he wakes up, it's better, but it's not fully healed because evidently like 10 hours of sleep isn't a long enough time for the neck to fully rest. He needs a little bit longer, but he's never getting that little bit longer because every morning he has to wake up and go to school and look at books and do, you know, whatever. So that's my guess anyways. That's just my guess. He just had a, you know, a twinge in his neck and it wouldn't go, but it makes sense to me that that's most likely what happened. Anyways, I took him to the QiGong guy, and the QiGong guy just, like, you know, 5 minutes of pushing and chiropractic adjustments, and boom, it fixed, you know, like. And my son went for like 2 months of constantly, like, he would just raise his head. There was just like neck, like and I asked him to explain it, and he said he would start to hurt, and then if he moves his head, the hurt goes away. So he was just getting like muscle spasms or twitches, or like his neck would cramp on a regular basis, and he'd have to like quickly move it to stop it from doing so. But it got to the point where he looked like he was like, you know, little Mr. Twitchy. He was constantly making adjustments to his neck, and it didn't look normal. But the guy fixed it, and like I said, it took him like 5 minutes. And then I got people saying, yeah, no, he didn't actually fix it because all that QiGong stuff is not proven and it's all bullshit. And I'm like, and then you got like, long story short, I couldn't put any pressure on this wrist for like over 2 years. It wasn't just like a come and go problem. It was constantly, like for over 2 years, I couldn't put any weight on this wrist. I went and saw the QiGong guy 5 minutes later, not even, it was like 2-3 minutes, and it was 100% fixed. A problem that I had for 2 years, couldn't put weight on my wrist for 2 years. Took him 3 minutes to fix the problem completely, like 100%. And when I say 100%, you know, I went from not being able to put weight to being able to put my full body weight on the wrist with no problem. And then other people were chiming in with their own personal experiences. Like, you had one guy who said that he tore his ACL, and he went to the hospital. They said, yeah, you need surgery, and then you need 2 surgeries, and then a year of rest. And then he's like, okay. And then someone else said, well, come see our guy, the, you know, QiGong guy or Eastern medicine guy. So he went to go see the Eastern medicine guy, and 2 days later he was playing soccer. And this is not made up. This is like his personal experience on Facebook. And we go, yeah, people on the internet don't lie. Why would he? It's like my Facebook friend. It's not him saying a friend of a friend of a friend. It's him saying himself. And with my wrist, that's me saying myself, you know? It's first-hand experiences. You're hearing it from me, so that makes it secondhand, his story anyways. But anyways, you know, and then there's my son, and there was another guy I know who had a torn sciatic nerve, which again needs surgery. What are all these kids doing? It looks like they went swimming. So, you know, and then I took a friend of mine to him, and my friend needed surgery, and boom, fixed, you know. And then Jake the garden snake, I think he needs some work done on his ACL. And I've told him, like, this guy can fix it. And he's like, it's physically impossible. If you have, like, a thing that's, like, a muscle or a tendon or whatever the fuck, that's, like, torn, but it's not, like, snapped completely. It's just stretched out long. He's like, if it's stretched out, you can't just do some massage and then it'll shorten. And I said that to my QiGong guy today. I said, my friend says you can't just take something that's stretched long and then do some massaging and all of a sudden it'll get shorter again. And he's like, no, actually it can. And he's just like, and that's like, it's funny because Jake says, I believe it works for some things, but it won't help with an ACL. And then a friend of mine on Facebook specifically said it was his ACL, and he went to the guy, and 2 days later he was playing soccer. And it's sad too, because Jake's probably going to go get the surgery, which is just going to like mess him up more. You know, it'll heal him in the short term, but mess him up more in the long term, because his body's been, you know, cut open and had adjustments made to it that it doesn't actually need, because there's natural ways to heal it. So yeah, it's you know, and then it amazes me that some people are just so close-minded to say no, it's all just bullshit. And then I tell them, yeah, well, if it's all just bullshit, then how did it heal me? Placebo effect. Oh, okay. How did it heal my son? Like, I don't think placebo effect would work on a child. Do you know why? Because I've tried it. I've tried when my son has like sicknesses or pains or something. I've tried like kissing it. You know, you kiss the boo-boo and you tell him it's all better, but it's not really all better. The kid's still in pain. You know, if placebo effect worked, I know it does work. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't work with fucking torn ACLs or fucking a wrist that for 2 years straight you can't put any weight on, and then somebody just, you know, does 3 minutes of adjustments, and then the placebo effect is so great that you're like perfectly healed. You know, the way the placebo effect works is it promotes self-healing. You think you're being healed, and therefore your body uses its own energies to heal itself. And the placebo effect is documented. Like, people who think, if you're giving someone sugar pills and telling them it's going to heal them, and then they really do get healed. But without those sugar pills, they wouldn't heal. And it's because the body, but that proves QiGong more. It doesn't prove it less. It proves that the body has mystical energies that we don't fully understand. And those mystical energies are capable of healing serious sicknesses just through the suggestion of, like, you know, like, that doesn't mean it's, because it's not the placebo effect. Some people think the placebo effect means that the person wasn't sick to begin with, and you just tell them that these sugar pills will make them well, and oh, they get well, so that means they weren't sick to begin. No, they really were sick to begin with. They really did have something seriously wrong with them. The sugar pills let them think they were healing, and then them thinking they were healing allowed them to use their own internal chi or whatever to actually heal themselves. So the placebo effect doesn't mean that we don't have healing energies within us. It actually proves that we do have healing energies within us. And I'm gonna knee down. Yeah, knee down. Gonna knee down again. Woo. Probably heard that one. So yeah, it's just, people look at it wrong. They think, oh, if you give someone sugar pills and it heals them, that means they weren't sick to begin with. No. Take a look at it. Take a look at how the placebo effect works. People are really sick. Their sickness is documented by the doctors. It's real. And then you give them sugar pills and then it goes away. Why? Because they're using their own internal energy, their own internal chi, and then they're directing it themselves subconsciously to heal themselves. And sometimes it's like serious illnesses that shouldn't go away on their own. So yeah. And then so with my son, you know, like, if the placebo effect worked so strongly to be able to cure his neck spasms that were like constant. He was like moving his neck once every 30 seconds all day long. Like, he was little Mr. Twitchy. And if it was as simple as placebo effect, then I could have just pulled out some, like, you know, some fucking glitter powder, and then just been like, oh, here, son, I'm putting glitter powder on your neck. This is magical fairy dust. You're now healed. And then the twitching would have stopped immediately. But obviously it wouldn't have. But I take him to the QiGong guy. 5 minutes later, it stops completely. So that's not placebo. That's him actually doing something physical that's, you know, that's curing the muscle spasms. Anyways, yeah. You know, and I'm just wasting my breath, because for all you idiots that just automatically discount something because it doesn't sound entirely scientific, you people are dumb. Just because it's not, like, documented somewhere that it actually, you know. And then yeah. So anyways, yeah, just a little refresher course. I got other videos on QiGong. I think I'll link to them in the video description. You go check the video description and you'll find my other videos where I talk about it in more detail. And I got other videos where I actually show it happening and show it at work too. So you can click on those links later.